Hello, he is Kelly. In this video, I'm going to talk about my honors project which explore why Japanese animation are success. First of all, why do I want to study in this topic? Japanese animation is one of the most popular cultures in the world. This included a wild age of their fans. They developed by Japanese graphics artists since the 20th century. They influenced by American newspaper comics and began to develop their own anime industry. Therefore, they have a complex and long-term development until now. In the 70s to 21st century, it is a golden age of Japanese animation. Technological development, correct marketing planning, and government support have made them shine. So they have a powerful, influential, and popular in Asians until now, which different country TV stations also show their episodes become daily entertainment. They are a sharper memory in child around the world. I was also deeply influenced by them when I was young, so I want to explore the reason why Japanese animation become pop culture around the world successful. Also, bring up economic benefits to Japan. Also, the animation industry who come from different countries is rising up in recent years. Although their main target customers are mainly around children and teenagers, they also gradually have high-quality animation. For example, version of Disney animation has a meaningful and down-to-earth theme of a princess story. They propagate feminism and universal-friendly message also demonstrate high-quality 3D animation technology in their recent animation and obtain good feedback in the world. It also brings a new pop culture in the world and also implement many pre-rental products. It's bring a lot of economic benefits to Disneyland and the American animation industry. In Chinese animation industry, also rescued from Japanese animation and make regular animation episodes based on Chinese novels, such as The King Africa, Toys Detective, and Musashi Street. Although I think Chinese animation technology and script is not compatible to Japanese and American animation, it is a good beginning of the Chinese animation industry. When I see others countries have personally successful in animation, it makes me think about Hong Kong animation. I still remember that Hong Kong manga is pop culture in the 90s, although there are a lot of Asian animation artists who are strongly influenced by Japanese. Hong Kong manga still keeps its own style and culture. It's not only become the main popular culture in Hong Kong society, but also the output of Hong Kong manga is breakthrough in the world, which can compare with Japanese and American. However, Hong Kong animation development is completely different from Hong Kong manga development. Talking about the Hong Kong animation, the first idea may be Old Smartest Q and My Life as NC Doll, which mainly targets Hong Kong local kids and family customers. With Hong Kong manga success becoming a pop culture in the 90s, Hong Kong animation seems unable to compare to Japan's animation. The different animation development of Hong Kong and Japan's developed through research questions. First, why did Japanese animation succeed in the 70s to 21st century? Second, what are the different or similarities between Hong Kong and Japanese animation industry? First, how could the Hong Kong animation industry develop in the future? In order to explore three research questions, I will compare two animation which come from different countries. For Japanese animation, it's JoJo Bizarre Adventure, and Hong Kong is Dragon's Delusion. Also, I will mention their feedback and image on media. So why did Japanese animation succeed in the 70s to 21st century, and what are the differences or similarities between Hong Kong and Japanese animation industry? Experiencing the reason why Japanese animation is success in different countries, which can become popular, also can bring a huge economic benefits to Japan. After reading different scripts, we are going to factory to explain the question, which is the development or transformation direction that I will show it in protocols after the slide. Second is resources, marketing, and external support that I will show it in inbox. In order to understand it easier, I will talk about the reason based on the timeline. Japan's animation began in 20th century. There are graphic artists who are influenced by American newspaper comics to create their own comics. They are using linear words balloon and storyline which are very suitable for massive viewing, and is meant to develop modern Japanese manga. After the development of Japanese manga, some Japanese artists also try to make animations based on manga, and the Japanese animation industry started at that time. In 1915 and 1916, the target customer of Japanese animation industry mainly was child's age. Also, they developed a script question which mostly film talking about bad guy vs good guy. At the same time, they start expanding their target customer, which not only focus on child's target. Their development direction of animation films was more serious to observe an adult customer. Hong Kong manga was also influenced by Japanese manga. In the 60s, Hong Kong cartoonists also start to imitate Japanese manga. They combine character design and entertainment design of Japanese manga as well as a traditional comic script of Chinese manga to give Hong Kong unique manga style. Speech style martial arts with a sense of camera and manga script of social reality began to become a mass script. In 1970, Japan was the second largest economy in the world. Also, Japan's animation expansion of the adult market was very successful. Lupin First was a comedy and action adventure animation. It was directly for adult customers. Also, it was directly two types of animation become popular in Japan, which is sci-fi type and Gundam series animation. Those three mainly explore complex human emotion. It became popular in Japan as and with science fiction subgenre has a reinterpretation. This is a golden age of anime in the successful of the theatrical version of the Gundam and Yamato. Also, the animation market has been developed sustainably with a profit of 200 billion yen per year. At the same time, Hong Kong economy turned down. Chaotic social order and the immersion of the large number of porn graphics and violent manga has greatly fixing the state of the manga. At the same time, the Hong Kong government has passed its law on the back publication, which has changed the Hong Kong comics market. The Hong Kong cartoonist Wong Yong greatly improving the state of manga in society. He was also greatly improved the quality of Hong Kong publishing industry, and Hong Kong manga industry began to take off. Following the development of technology, Japanese animation changed their development direction again, which created a content animation. Adult customers can buy them in the store and watch it at home. This can without worrying about film and TV censor. Therefore, adult chaotic animation such as Keiko Kamen became popular in the Japan animation market in 1980. At the same time, Hong Kong manga was influenced by the martial arts concept in the Chinese cultural traditional in terms of context and character setting, forming a style unique to Hong Kong. Most of the works has strong commercial color, and Hong Kong manga has also entered some countries with a non-Chinese language background. Dragon Tiger Moon have appeared in English and other language. At the same time, the rise of many new cartoonists has brought Hong Kong comics into a golden age. Hong Kong has had originally become a famous manga town. In the 90s, Hong Kong manga adapted from well-known martial arts novel became famous. Martial arts, action, and sci-fi were still a mainstream of Hong Kong comics. In addition, Hong Kong comics has also successfully entered many countries and regions. They have started in 1960, but now they are following. But for 14 or 15 years, it's just a few. Hong Kong has evolved from a place for portrait towers in a world-famous comic tower, and this is also known as the world three major comics export destination with the US and Japan. Since 1919, some live-action movies adapted from comics have news from Hong Kong film. Whether intentionally or not, while attract comics book readers to become movie audience, comic books have also welcomed a wide audience. And this is a big difference in development direction between Hong Kong and Japan. The golden age of Hong Kong manga was the representative Hong Kong live-action film, which adapted from Japanese and Hong Kong manga. Hong Kong focused on moving towards a live-action movie, which also got a good result. In 1992, the annual box office of Hong Kong film set a record high of Hong Kong 1.24 billion, and the annual production of Hong Kong film also over 200. Talking back to the Hong Kong animation industry, although Hong Kong has experienced and complete support resource in the manga industry, Hong Kong are still a newbie in the anime industry in the 1990s. Therefore, only a few animated films were produced in Hong Kong. Also, Hong Kong animators were studying animation from America and Japan. Tracy, the Chinese Ghost Story is the first animation made by Hong Kong animator with the help of the Japanese animation team. In Japan, Japanese animation led to other pop culture in the world, in which their golden age continued. Their producers still find a different type of film to meet the market needs. Branding European animation, Akira, led a new trend in animation culture, also became an international hit trend in the last 80s. Akira was a different form, preferring action or a comedy film. This animation made the world understand that Japanese animation is not only suitable for child, but also suitable for adult. Talking about the genetic mandation and futuristic total hit the American screen, Japanese animation culture started to span internationally. Also, since 1889, the Japanese animation industry has continued to rise, originally founded an animation industry channel in Western Tokyo. In 2002, the number of animation production companies nationwide increased to 450, of which 359 were located in Tokyo. Tokyo is not only an animation production company, but also TV company, TV station production company, advertising company, and other media companies to provide customers with a set of convenient and diversity digital media services. Because of a loss of animation production company and manpower, their productivity is high, also compared to West animation production company. Their production was a low cost. For example, production one episode of One Piece is 1 to 3 months and around 1,200 600 costs, when Japan's animation film production cost was around 200 to 300 million yen each. Therefore, their competitive ratios come from high productive lower cost and entertainment value. Besides that, the Japanese animation industry also great market analysis and diffusion. They help with the Japanese animation industry targeting market development and market study. In 2004, Japanese TV station divided animation channel according to different nation and age group. The Japanese government also has policy to promote the Japanese animation industry. They encourage diversity forms of different animation production, especially the application of funding in animation production, such as grant or investment, special methods, production quality methods, special purpose company methods is increased way to invest in the animation industry more purpose. Second, they integrated the development of the animation industry into the national development strategy. There are three main points in their strategy which cultivated core talent, promote overseas development, and discover new talent. Also, they decided to improve the work environment of animators. As Hong Kong development or transformation direction mentioned, Hong Kong mainly developed in live action movie because Hong Kong people have always liked low cost, high return movements, and their attitude towards animation is not expansion. Since animation production took a long time, coupled with a low rate of return, investors were not willing to invest in the Hong Kong animation industry. Long animation production time and high cost at least 400,000 for one episode, as well as knowledge of scoring films and lack of local style. In 2005, about Hong Kong industry began to do authorized animation which decided to make Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And about the external support, the Hong Kong government and different organizations have also launched related measures to promote the Hong Kong animation industry, such as the Hong Kong Arts Center. Since 2005, the first animation creation project ICT was being organized to gather works created by a variety of young animators of different styles, allowing those creators to explain their idea through animation. And in 2006, it launched a one-year comics website project. It also gives Hong Kong cartoonists the opportunity to communicate with different cartoonists overseas. At the same time, Japanese animation market reached 241.5 billion yen. It not only increased efficiency and income of the animation market, helped surface presences and spending power of different age groups, which creates other markets. Subculture and production market derived from Japanese animation also bring huge market revenues. Only the anime character retail market has 1.061 yen. Also, the otaku culture derived in the 70s when a huge market for the Japanese animation industry, which is Japanese leader anime door market promoter sales for about 25.6 million in 2006. In Hong Kong 2007, this is also regarded as a local animation which entered the international market successfully. After Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Image decided to make an animation of Astro Boy. They invested a lot of money, but box office response was lower than expected, so it made Image face a suffer slower, and it is also a severely hit in the Hong Kong animation industry. After that, Central sold their company to Disneyland as Lost Part in 2009. Netflix moved the company to Busan, and Image was closed in 2010. At the same time, Hong Kong government, the Creative Hong Kong office was established. They have given more support and implemented the animation support program, which has given some new animation workers more opportunity. In Hong Kong, 2013, the animation-based officially opened, and different exhibitions are often held, serving sessions and workshops to promote Hong Kong animation industry. And from time to time, there will be some outdoor animation scanning. However, it is also closed in 2018 because of difficulty in operation. With the industry organized this collaboration with the government or related organizations. In recent years, more and more people have joined in the form of small or individual studios to produce animation and related works. There are more than 116 companies and studios in this industry in 2018, a 22% increase from the data obtained in 3 years ago.
用這歌可以代表我，幫我為你加一點附和，假使可以轉。